Just as the week was drawing to a conclusion, a revealing interview would be published by The Sun featuring Michele Bundy Evans, infamously known as the most recent woman to come forward with accusations directed at Shannon Sharpe. While some individuals would lend an ear to the words shared by the 53-year-old Evans, many others would find themselves utterly stunned by the accuser's outward appearance, given that she appears to be an eccentric, elderly white woman.
Somebody crawling out of the woodwork to talk about my connection with him, like he insinuated in his statement. I've been out. I've been suing him.
When it comes to the assertions made by Michele, she would go on to disclose that their romantic involvement ultimately came to a halt in 2010, following a disagreement that erupted between the two concerning whether they would continue dating each other exclusively. Based on Michele's account, even though the nature of their relationship was understood to be open, Shannon had allegedly failed to disclose that another woman had started cohabitating with him shortly after she had moved out. During this contentious exchange, Sharpe would reportedly urge Michele, who, at the time, was involved with her future spouse, to end her other relationship in order to be with him. He had actually asked me to cut ties with my husband during that period. I was simultaneously seeing both Shannon and my husband, she said. And I'm thinking, wait, so you want me to commit only to you, yet you're bringing another woman into your home without even informing me? This, she explained, was what sparked the argument between them. As her conversation with The Sun continued, Michele would then recount what she claims transpired between them, events that ultimately led her to accuse him of sexual assault and to later obtain a legal restraining order. He was very controlling, she described. He was domineering, he would manhandle me, and he demanded sex. I told him no. I said no because you already gave yourself to someone else. And it wasn't just a simple no, I gave him the reason why. But he still refused to accept my refusal. She then claimed that he physically overpowered her, forcing her down to her knees, and compelled her to perform oral sex. After he was finished with that, he placed me on the bed, she said, adding that the entire ordeal involved physical struggle. According to Evans, Shannon would go on to issue threats in an effort to silence her about the alleged assault. She claims that the threats he made were so persistent and intimidating that they ultimately stopped her from filing a police report regarding the incident. However, she eventually sought a restraining order after he allegedly began harassing her with ongoing threats. Once the Shade Room and various corners of social media began to unpack and discuss Michele's newly surfaced interview, many users couldn't help but express disbelief, not only at the allegations but at the identity of the accuser herself. One commenter remarked, "Black women, let's stay out of this. This ain't our fight." Another chimed in with, "My guy was creeping around with the school bus driver." A third person commented, "He publicly claimed to be attracted to Nicole Murphy but was secretly fetishizing over Miss Hocus Pocus." Content creator Shulu King would post, "How many times must I say it, leave the damn white women alone." Actress and comedian Tori Hart simply commented, "I'm tired." Even NFL veteran Des Bryant weighed in, saying, "Nah, I'm not throwing away my entire fortune over a woman who looks like that, respectfully." According to Michele, her initial encounter with Shannon took place back in 2002 inside the Denver Broncos press room, where she was working as a reporter. The pair, however, wouldn't begin an official romantic relationship until they later crossed paths at a nightclub in Denver. As part of the newly surfaced report, it was also disclosed that several years ago, Evans served a little over 1 year at Rikers Island on charges related to domestic assault involving her husband. Shannon's representatives, on their part, have claimed that he had not had any contact with Evans for a number of years and further alleged that she had once attempted to kill her own husband in order to be with Shannon. Michele, however, has refuted those allegations and subsequently filed a defamation lawsuit against Shannon in 2023. By the end of her interview, Michele would also offer words of support to Sharpe's other accuser, remarks that might lead some observers to believe that Sharpe's involvement with white women has consistently backfired. In light of these developments, Sharpe has recently stepped away from his responsibilities at ESPN to address the growing legal and public fallout surrounding the accusations. Let's continue the conversation down below in the comments. For all the latest updates in comedy, culture, and sports, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Hype Plus TV across every major social media platform. And if you found this report helpful, feel free to show support by clicking the super thanks button below.